This tree here is a tree that I've wanted to come back to for about 20 years. Some of my favourite photos that I took in my early days of landscape photography were shot here at this lake, which is no longer a lake. It's a swamp. Some bright politician decided that this lake was evaporating too fast, so the best thing to do would be to drain it and just get rid of all the water. And it's been like that for years, which is a real shame because this used to be a fishing mecca. I just bumped into an old man down the road walking his dog. He looked about 75, 80 years old, and he said he taught all of his children to water ski here. And now it's impossible, it's just swampland, which is a real shame. But nonetheless, I have a date with this tree. It only took me 3 hours to get here, 220 kilometres, only to find that there is no water here. I thought there was still some water here, but maybe there is further out. But I'm not going to walk through the swamp to get to it. My feet are already wet, so I'm just going to see how I go with this tree of mine and see if I can get something reasonably compelling. Anyway, good excuse to get out for the day. So who gives a crap if I get a good photo or not? Now this light is very, very dull. That's my excuse. Very ordinary light. But we work with what we have. I'm going to do a bit of exposure bracketing here for that sky. So first shot, 1/25 f8, 100 ISO. Next shot, 60th f8, 100 ISO. And then one more at 30th f8, 100 ISO. We'll see what that yields. It's such a simple subject, really. It's just a tree. And I actually like the fact that the top of the tree is darker than the bottom. The trunk is fairly light coloured, whereas the top of the tree is quite dark. I think it gives a nice contrast with the sky behind. I really do like these minimalist style subjects with negative space around them. And shooting with a high megapixel camera like the R5 is a great opportunity. It's my favourite bird, the kookaburra. I think I want to go, how's my histogram look? Yeah, I think I want to drop that down just a little bit. Easier to bring out shadow detail than it is to try and recover highlights. I really like this. These clouds in the background are definitely helping. This is the benefit of using a nice tall tripod. I'm actually standing on a fallen tree right now, and yet my tripod is at the perfect height. If I was not on this tree trunk, then I'd have trouble looking at the screen here. God, the light is just so flat. I really would like to just get a splash of light coming through. It would be so nice. But being in this slightly elevated position here is actually good, because I'm getting a slightly different look, slightly different view of this tree, and I can see a bit more of the dry reed grass behind it, which is cool. So, what am I on? AF stabilizer off. Usually good to turn your stabilizing lens stabilizer off when you're locked away on a tripod. Now I might bring out the self timer now because I'm down to 30th of a second. Probably still don't need it, but better to be safe than sorry. Shame there's no water here. I was really hoping for reflections. That's what I was hoping for here, was to have some of these dead trees in water with reflections. I thought there was still some water here, but maybe there is further afield. I might get the drone up and have a look, see what's around. got to say, it is very peaceful here. Apart from the odd car going past every now and again. Generally the only sound here is the birds and the frogs, which is nice. I suspect this photography here lends itself to black and white, although the muted colours are appealing. Maybe I'm going to make this a theme to fart in every one of my videos. I'll become known as the farting landscape photographer. Oh, I see some light breaking over the hills over there. I am a sucker for a lone tree, I gotta say. Always a sucker for a lone tree. Actually, no, the temptation is always to lean something into frame. I'm going to take a shot of it leaning out of frame, because that's not common. Yeah, I like that. Something different. I think I might do a pano, actually. I don't do panos. It's time I started. Lock it on the manual focus, manual exposure. Let's put it at f8, 30th of a second. Alright, let's see how we go with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then one at the end to show that that's the end of the pano. I love this tree. Why do I love a tree so much? How is it possible to love a tree so much? Especially a dead tree. But why do I love a dead tree so much? The beauty of landscape photography, much I think like having a passion for cars or motorbikes, is you can actually develop a real affection for things which other people would just walk right by, they would ignore. Like this tree, for example. You know, 30 years ago, I came here a lot, and I would spend hours and hours here photographing this area. And I was always drawn to this tree, always drawn back to it. And so I've thought about returning here for literally 20 years. And it's so nice to come back and find this tree is still here. This tree has sat here through freezing cold nights, through burning hot summers, just waiting for me to return, to reacquaint myself with it. Yeah, it's just a dead tree, but to me it represents stability in amongst decades of turmoil and change and stress and success and failure, and I kind of like that. So it's nice to return and recapture it, even if the light is bland and ordinary. It's just nice to know that some things are always there for you, just waiting for you, like this tree. In the end, despite some rather ordinary light, I did get some images of my much vaunted tree that I rather like. But the real surprise actually laid beyond the tree line, where there was indeed water out in the centre of the lake. Shallow, mind you, but with the little patches of reed grass dotted throughout. I have to say, it was quite beautiful. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It actually makes a difference. And subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye for now.